What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today is May the 23rd. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is really focusing on today. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, there isn't that much coming out today that could move the market. So today was supposed to be a peaceful day. Unfortunately, didn't really pan out as so. So the futures are getting slaughtered. So Dow is down 1.04, S&P down 1.1, NASDAQ down 1.28% because of this. So I think we already did know that kind of negotiations between the States and the EU haven't been going according to plan. We've seen a lot of just on both sides saying, hey, we kind of want opposite things right now. Trump just says, F it, they're going to do a straight 50% tariff on the States starting June the 1st. So this is definitely stepping up his negotiation tactics. Market does not like this whatsoever. So there was this in combination with this. So Apple is getting hit quite significantly because Trump is threatening a 25% import tax on Apple unless iPhones are made in the States. So this is insane. So yeah, definitely no more peaceful Friday. This should be a very rocky day all in all. So let me know your thoughts on that. Aside from all that though, Fear and Greed Index is still holding up. Maybe it's one of those scenarios where this is broken again, but logically, given everything, it would be under the low neutral territory, meaning people's appetite for risk is definitely diminishing. Aside from that though, SoFi is just piggybacking off the broader market, down 1.59%. No fireside chats, nothing like that. Shorts currently aren't doing anything pre-market, but 13.65% of the free float's being shorted. So short's been kind of back and forth over the last little bit, not really doing too much. I feel like today with everything, they are just going to increase and be a little bit more active if SoFi does gain some momentum to get back over that $13 range. So I think that's where shorts will really try to suppress it because of the options, in the money options. I did bring this up in my dedicated SoFi video yesterday, so kind of just refer to that. But aside from that, with that 1287, it is trading between this S2 and this S3. So 1256 is going to be a strong support. 1312 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. Ticker MLGO is getting a lot of volume. I believe this is the most heavily traded stock so far this morning, despite no news, no SEC filings. So this is one of those momentum plays that you can try to ride it up. Last time it was up during the pre-market, it did lose out, but yesterday it did close 38.22% in the green. So something to kind of keep in mind as far as some levels to watch for, with at 226 trading between this R1 and the pivot. 219 is going to be a strong support. 297 followed by 344 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So I do feel that big money is really going to be focusing on this stock. So just watch for those as potential exits and then these as potential buying opportunities. It is heavily shorted, so 31.03% of the free float's being shorted, works out to be 6.93 million shares. So definitely one to add to your watch list. I wouldn't really recommend, in my opinion, to hold it long term, but day trade, definitely have at it. It's one of the best ones out there. Moving on, ticker LITM, Snow Lake Resources. It is up 20%. No news, no SEC filings that I can see. They did recently do a reverse stock split on May the 2nd. So sometimes you always see that happen, that after a reverse stock split, the stock just randomly goes up. So I think it might be that possibly. So they did a 1 for 13, but like I said, no news, no SEC filings, no speculative topics. So whatever did happen and is pushing it higher is not really hitting mainstream media just yet. Not that heavily shorted though, so 1.55% of the free float's being shorted, works out to be 109,000 shares. So they won't really be a kind of factor for today. With it at 409, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 392 is going to be a strong support. 512 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So just keep that in mind. Apple is getting hit quite significantly because, again, this right here, Trump threatening 25% import tax on Apple. So this is kind of crazy if you think about it. So if this actually does come to fruition for whatever reason, Americans definitely will have to either pop up north or south, so Mexico or Canada, to buy their iPhones and then come back down, because this would be insane. And so Apple most likely will be kind of funneling a lot more, jets, just to kind of bring in like $2 billion worth of iPhones, as what they did last time. Obviously Apple's not heavily shorted, so 0.72% of the free float, so that won't be an influence for that today. With it at 194 though, it is completely oversold. So even if we move over to the 1 day, basically 180, it's going to be stuck in limbo between this pivot and this S1. I see neither being touched, so 202 is going to be the next strong target, then 108 is going to be the strong support. Then last but not least, this one has been riding the whole quantum wave, so ticker OKLO, and it is still up 7.55% during the pre-market. It was up, I think, like 15 to 20%, but still is gaining some good momentum as far as that. And you can kind of see no news, no SEC filing. So a lot of stocks are just moving on their own, obviously external factors and whatever else, but it is somewhat heavily shorted. So 15.22% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 15.37 million shares. So shorts might be a little bit more active today, but as you can kind of see from this green line, when the stock has recently burst out, shorts have not been reactive. In the past, shorts have really, every time that the stock starts to build up some momentum, shorts double down, increase, try to kill it, but this time it's different. So maybe they are essentially letting it run up, and then maybe they'll play catch up, or maybe they're just mitigating risk and not really willing to try to risk it all to suppress this stock. Let me know your viewpoint on that. Aside from that, with that 42.95, it is trading well above all the key fib levels, even moving over to the 1 week. Like 43 is going to be the next strong target. So 43 and 34 is going to be support and resistance points. So all in all, just a lot of good day trades here, but there is clearly a lot of risk, a lot of fear. And one thing I do find rather odd, so on my Patreon, I know I've mentioned that I put out buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, but I also do analyze a lot of data points and what big money might be doing. Conveniently, you did have over the last 3 days, despite obviously yesterday being fairly good for the market, you did have for 3 consecutive days the consensus by big money through options as bearish. And even yesterday, there was a lot of very bearish Apple options. So in reality, and I even put it out saying that essentially I wouldn't say short Apple, but puts clearly are the obvious indication here over the last couple of days. So big money is maybe known about this for some time now, so kind of comical on how that is, but definitely pop over to my Patreon, worthwhile, I think, all in all. Link in the description below and also the comments. But with all that said, appreciate all of you watching. Let me know what kind of stocks you're watching today, or you plan on buying, or whatever else. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up, and have a good weekend, everyone.